And what's up, guys? Welcome to another home theater hangout. You joined with me, Kellen, and then we also have our guest today, Chuck, back from Procella Audio. What's up, Chuck?
Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for having me here.
Hopefully, our audio is good. If not, then somebody leave a comment. But Chuck, the last time you were here was, I think, sometime last year, possibly maybe 2 years ago. You just came out with the P6 Mark IIs, and I had the Mark One. Shortly after, maybe like a month after or so, the Mark II came out, and I was able to do a little video, compare the two. And then I got the P815 in recently, and then shortly thereafter, the Mark II came out.
Yeah,
So let's talk about some new products that you guys were dropping, and this new little revamp you guys are doing over there. Because I know your website has changed and your logo has changed. So
yeah. Probably start with a little bit of history to give perspective on all of this. The company in 2024 had a major change where we had a new senior management team come on board as investors. Um, and as a result of that, we've moved the company headquarters from Sweden to Belgium. The new team comes from a very strong home and commercial entertainment background out of Barco, a company where I'm sure we're all familiar with, both in terms of residential home cinema and commercial cinema. And the approach that we're taking now is to make Procella a more prominent player both in the residential space, but also to become more involved, as you can see here with some of these images, in the commercial cinema space. It is a part of the business where Procella was active in previous years, primarily in the Scandinavian area in Europe, not in the United States, where we worked with a couple of exhibitor companies, actually breaking some new technology where the loudspeakers were not installed behind a perforated cinema screen, as they're almost always done in commercial cinemas, but located above the screen, where the screen was a solid screen with no perforations at all, superior image. And with our specially designed above screen loudspeakers, we were able to deliver very high quality audio. The sound didn't have to pass through a screen. The screens used in commercial cinema are not as acoustically transparent as the ones we use in home cinema. And this approach has been very well received. People are identifying the sound as coming from the screen. And that's going to play into some of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later in the residential space. So with that, as I said, we've moved the operation to a new headquarters, expanded the team. We have more staff in terms of product development and manufacturing, and there are going to be some introductions, as we're going to talk about here, because we're innovating and revamping the product line. For those of you who know the founders, Gerben and Anders, they're both still involved. Anders is still directing the R&D effort, but he's got some very talented folks helping him out with that, and that's helping to accelerate the introduction of these new products. So they're going to be even better performing than we've had so far. You'd mentioned the P8. That was our flagship product. The P8 was our first loudspeaker. When the first Procella speakers were created, Anders and Gerben were working for DTS. They're both executives there, outside of London in Twyford, where DTS had their headquarters. DTS was expanding their headquarters building, and they had the space to build a preview theater. So they built a 32-seat preview theater. Gerben and Anders were given the assignment to populate it with the audio and video equipment. They reached out to the usual suspects of speaker manufacturers, who received boatloads of samples, evaluated them, but they found that there wasn't anything that was commercially available that would do everything that DTS needed. Specifically, they needed a speaker that would have the dynamics and output capability required for DTS cinema content. But at the same time, this is in the mid 2000s, where DTS was making a strong effort to introduce 5.1 music. They were having albums remixed for 5.1 surround sound, and that meant bringing in bands. Depeche Mode, Queen were a couple of them that came in to hear their content remixed in 5.1. So the speaker system in that room had to have the quality of a recording studio. Ultimately, because they couldn't find that speaker that would work, they designed their own package. And the P8 was the heart of that. The complete speaker, the full range speaker, was the P815, which added a 15-inch woofer to the 8-inch two-way that is the P8. And that speaker has really been the heart of our product line for 20 some years now. What we're doing now is introducing the new version of the P8, not necessarily going to be called a Mark II, but it's a redesign pretty much across the board. So it's a new cosmetic design, it's a new compression driver tweeter, new waveguide, and new woofer, all integrated into one cabinet. So it's a much sleeker and more attractive speaker box. So
that is those guys there.
Here we are. Perfect. You can see that you can't see the previous version. The previous version had the waveguide mounted on the outside of the cabinet. You could see the screws mounting the driver. Beautiful performing speaker, but it wasn't necessarily the most attractive. And now we're combining high quality sound with a much better cosmetics.
So this is the old one there.
Yeah, that's the old boxier one where you can see the waveguide mounted.
Yeah, so that's the I did the unboxing video on the channel about a month and a half or 2 months ago. So that's up on the channel now. But that's been kind of the mainstay, right, from the origins of DTS.
Exactly, the DTS main speaker, LCR speaker. Actually, there were 5 of them because it was set up for the Sony 5 screen channel format.
Right.
Were the predecessors of the P815, basically prototypes. And when the success of that system in the DTS headquarters was recognized by the people visiting, that's what drove Gerben and Anders to leave DTS and start the company and develop the version that we've been selling for those 20 years.
So these were the speakers used in studios and mixing rooms or actual cinemas?
They're not used in cinemas because it doesn't quite have the output for a large cinema. It can do a fairly decent sized room, but that speaker is rated by Dolby and THX spec as an 8-meter loudspeaker. So it will play 105 decibels continuously at a distance of 8 meters. And so that's going to work for like a 30 or 40 foot room.
Gotcha. So these bigger ones here, the C10, 12, 28, would be the commercial ones?
Right. Those are the ones that would go into a commercial cinema.
Gotcha.
The C10, you see a smaller one that kind of looks like the P8. That's a surround channel speaker. So that wouldn't be used as a screen speaker.
Okay. All right. So a little history for all the DTS fans out there. Because lately it's been like everything Atmos has just taken over DTS for the 4K space. But all the guys that love DTS is like, why don't they ever release anything in DTS:X anymore? Well, a little history. Procella was at the forefront of DTS's inception.
And it is
trivia.
A bit of interesting history. And I have to say that I do regularly hear from people that I speak to, customers and people in the industry, regretting the fact that DTS really is not as present, nearly as present as they were in the past. We just don't see that much content.
I think the Disney Plus stuff is right in DTSX,
I
IMAX
believe,
enhanced.
yeah,
Some of the IMAX enhanced stuff is,
IMAX.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's using DTS.
Yeah.
And maybe a handful of discs, but I don't really follow that closely to tell you
Yeah.
uh,
Handful.
what percentage it is these days.
So, aside from some of the aesthetics, what are the? By the way, I had to Photoshop that on top of the base module. In case you didn't notice that.
Yeah, yeah, that's not. But it looks good. It's a good representation, but it's not actually from our website.
So, besides the aesthetics, what else has changed between this one and the old one?
We have pretty much upgraded across the board. There's a newer compression driver that we're using. It's a little bit higher performance than what was available when it was first brought out. And with that, we've redesigned the waveguide to take into account the characteristics of the uh, compression driver and also the basic functionality of the waveguide, which is to give us directional control of the high frequencies. The waveguide gives us the ability to deliver a wide spectrum of sound across the entire audience. With a dome tweeter, you are going to get very good response sitting in the sweet spot where you're directly on axis with the speaker. But in theaters, we now have we have rows of 3 seats or 4 seats or more, and a speaker that beams is only going to deliver good sound to one seat, basically. So a waveguide gives control over the entire tweeter spectrum to give a much wider dispersion, so that people that aren't sitting in the prime seat, ones off to the side, are still going to hear good high frequencies, good imaging. And that's a characteristic of all of our speakers. All of our speakers use waveguides.
Did you say that this is moved over to a dome tweeter, or it still has a compression?
No, it's not a dome tweeter. It's a compression driver.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can put a waveguide on a dome tweeter and it helps, but ultimately the compression driver is going to give you the higher performance.
Right.
You're just not going to get that performance with a dome for a high end home theater.
What's the frequency response on this? Same as the old one, or?
I haven't seen the spec on it. It might be a little bit more extended. The compression drivers are not don't generally work up into the ultrasonic region. They're more getting up to about 20K, and that's about it.
Okay.
And that's just the nature of the drivers, and it's not no trade off in terms of sound quality as far as that goes. But it is very flat response, and the advantage of the waveguide is that flat response is preserved across the listening area. You don't get the sharp dips and peaks that you get off axis with domes.
Right.
We've also upgraded the woofer, so we've got a higher quality woofer driver. It's 8-inch in the P8, and there's a newly designed crossover that is using a little bit newer design approach that is working extremely well. So we're very happy with how this has turned out.
Mm-hmm. Same material, the enclosure, or has that changed?
Yeah, it's still MDF.
Okay.
It's a nicer finish, and it's obviously you can see it is a more sleek design, flat front baffle, and it comes with a grill that covers the entire front baffle rather than just partial.
Obviously magnetic, right? Instead of little
Yes,
pins.
it's magnetic. Yeah.
Does it still mount the same way with the little slot in the back, or is it base mounted?
You can mount it. You can wall mount it very easily. It comes with it's essentially a French cleat type arrangement. You mount a bracket on the wall, and then there's a slot that spans pretty much the entire back baffle of the speaker. And so the speaker just hangs on the bracket, and because the slot in the back of the speaker is wider than the bracket, it gives you the ability to mount the bracket into a stud and then still slide the speaker so that it's positioned where you want it.
And I know, Shane, you probably went over this in your video too. I haven't watched it in a while, but that kind of gooseneck design allows you to kind of aim the front LCRs towards to get them more on axis if you wish, right? There's some movement in that top module.
You have there's a bracket that can be rotated and then locked down in an angled position or angled to the speaker, and that gives you the ability to tow in left and right speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, further improves your imaging.
Unfortunately for my setup, the modules are on the ground, so I couldn't use that because my riser's kind of high, and my screen, I didn't want it to be sitting on the bottom edge of the screen, so I had to like put it up on a stand. The main portion of the speaker.
Yeah.
So the P6 Mark II, which recently got updated last year, or was it 2 years ago?
It was 2 years.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So now the design philosophy between these two, aesthetic wise, now they're kind of different again.
Well, the P8 is moving towards the new generation design.
So is there going to be Mark III P6?
Well, there's no plan for that I can talk about or anything in the calendar. But with technology, probably over years' time, you might see that. But because we've already done the improvement, we've already done the upgraded crossover and compression driver, it's fully prepared for mating with the P8 when you're using P8s as mains and P6s as surrounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that this is a cooler looking speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, you just change the housing. You could just, I mean, how much could that affect the sound if you keep everything else the same?
Well, if you do it right, that's an important element. You want to minimize diffraction.
I mean, Ascendo does this every year. They tweak it every other like 6 months or so.
Yeah. We tend to stick. We get a good design, lock it in, and stick with it for a while. That's been our history.
You sent over another. Is that base module? Is that going to change as well?
The base module is a P15 SI, which also can be used as a subwoofer. Mm-hmm. The only change that's going to be made there is cosmetic. There's no change to the driver, no change to the cabinet volume. What we're going to do is use this aesthetic here. This is our P24, which is one of our other new products. And so all of the subwoofers are going to follow this design. The existing ones, like the P18 single, the P15 single, won't change. Same driver, same basic enclosure, but the look will change. So you can set them all side by side, and they all look like part of the same family.
Which is these guys here. So right. The U24. So let's click on this one here. So this is new. Is this what is this going to be specified as? Is it going to be for infrasonics or is it just really big, large spaces?
It's a big subwoofer for a lot of output in large spaces that has some infrasonic capability, but it's not designed to get down below 15 hertz. It's a basic subwoofer that would be used with a ordinary crossover point through base management.
Okay.
So we're just using a new technology in drivers and continuing with our design philosophy of making these easy to install and accommodate by providing them in very shallow cabinets.
Yep.
And getting very high output and a lot of cinema impact in basically about as small a box as you're going to be able to do for a woofer of that size.
I'm going to touch on. That was impressive looking at them at CEDIA, just seeing how shallow they are, and with his a lot of people wanting to implement waveforming and that sort of thing, being able to not be able to take away so much into the room, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to lose square footage and big boxes that you've got to put for waveforming. So I won't say super shallow depth, but they are a small cabinet, relatively speaking, to the driver size. It's really sweet. So,
how deep is that?
I have to look at the spec to tell you offhand.
I don't think it could be more than. I don't want to misspeak, but it didn't really look more than a foot deep.
Yeah, it's not much more than that.
Maybe 14, 16 at most, but it didn't look any more than 12. Just look eyeballing it.
To follow on something that you mentioned, Kellen, is that waveforming was definitely a consideration in these, because we see that as very important for the highest performance systems. And we were actually early on working with Trinnov. One of the early installations of waveforming was done at our facility in outside Amsterdam, where we have a very large demo room. And that's got a full waveforming installation. It was one of the first ones that was done, and is very successful.
So is this going to be easily wall mountable?
Well,
is anything easily wall mountable when it's 300 pounds?
I don't know if the easy ever enters into it, but we have taken a few things into account. There are literally handles on the top and bottom on each side. So it's about as easy to manipulate as anything that heavy is going to be.
Right. And then you have a slightly smaller version, 21-incher.
Yeah, the V21 is also, or U21 rather.
U21.
Yeah, U for Uno series. Uno, one subwoofer driver, and then we also have the Duo subs with dual drivers. So that is in the same footprint. It's a little shallower, so if depth really is an issue, then you'd go with the U21. And it joins the V21, which is the dual driver version.
That's a big one.
And that does not follow the Procella shallow depth concept.
Yeah,
that one is quite deep.
But it's easy wall mountable.
yeah, it's just take 3 or 4 people. Yeah, that's a floor mount for sure.
Yeah, 26 inches deep.
Yeah,
219 pounds. Yeah, it's not the.
And we also have a dual 18-inch as well. Yeah, so we've really expanded the product lineup to get into the higher performance. People are looking for higher output and deeper extension. And I can say from a little experience with the prototypes of the 21 and 24, they definitely do extend a bit deeper than the 18s do, as you would expect.
Yeah, I hope so. Are there price points on any of this stuff?
There are. I'm going to grab my sheet so I'm very accurate in giving you the numbers here. So, and the 21 is available now. The 24 is probably, we could deliver them in April if someone needed one urgently. We'll probably have them in stock probably in June, considering shipping time for bringing them in from Belgium by sea. So the P24 is 13,600. The P21 is 8,450.
Okay, it's about roughly the same as other.
Yeah, and
sized.
That's just for the woofer. There's typically you'd use our DA08 amplifier, which is 4 times 800 watts. But if it's bridged, it's 2 times 3,200 watts, which is optimal for these subs, and that's 6,300
for the amp.
For the amplifier, yeah.
Okay. Is that 1 amp for both of these guys, or for all these?
You would use well, it's a 4-channel amp, so typically you would bridge, so each amplifier could handle 2 subwoofers.
Okay.
If you were doing say the V21, then you'd have 1 amplifier for 1 subwoofer. But if you're doing the U21 or U24, then the amplifier could handle 2 subs.
Okay. And you also had another product here that you sent me over. What do we got here?
So now we're moving towards the other applications.
Is that this
is the P5 OCW on-wall speaker. And it is part of our P5 family. So the P5 is a 1-inch compression driver and a 5.25-inch woofer. We make it in multiple variations. There's a small bookshelf. There is a tall and shallow vertical design that is suitable for surround speakers or sitting next to a flat screen. There's an in-wall version. And now this is a shallow version that could be used flush mounted either as a surround speaker or as a upper speaker that would be used for your Atmos channels.
That's a 5-incher, right? You said?
Yeah, it's 5.25 two-way. What's interesting, if you can see on the close-up, is that there is a round baffle that can be removed and rotated.
That's cool.
So the angle that you see enables you to point the tweeter where you want it. So if it's mounted on the ceiling, your top front speakers would be pointed towards the back of the room. Top middles would be pointed towards the middle of the room. Top rears would be pointed towards the front of the room.
Right.
And one speaker can be modified just by removing the screws and rotating the baffle to properly orient the speaker. It's square in design, so once they're on the ceiling, regardless of where the tweeter's pointed, once the grill's on, they all look the same.
Right. That's a cool design. That's 5.25. Is there going to be like a larger size version of that, like a 6.5 or an 8-inch?
No plan for that presently. That's getting into larger sizes and larger enclosures. The P5 has worked well. That's been by far our most popular speaker for upper channels.
This little guy here?
Yeah, so that's the box version.
Yeah.
If you're going to use that as an upper channel, you'd have to mount it on a bracket.
So these are for like smaller rooms, I take it.
Yeah, that would be a smaller room, maybe a surround speaker in a small room if you're doing a little bookshelf type system. I use those in my demo theater as the upper speakers.
Okay.
They're mounted on brackets so I can precisely aim them. So even more so than you could do with the P5 OCW. That isn't what you typically see just because of aesthetics. People don't necessarily want to see speakers hanging from the ceiling, so we have the other options. And then this is the one that could be used as a surround speaker in small to mid-sized rooms, and also has the cosmetics to go with a flat screen. If you've got a flat screen monitor, you can hang those on the wall.
Yep.
Because the waveguide is round, you can orient it horizontally or vertically, and it performs the same. So you could have two vertically oriented for left and right speakers, and then one above the screen as a center channel.
Got. And speaking of screen speakers, we have the Immersio.
Yeah, so this is an entirely new approach. Immersio is the concept. It's not a specific product, but if we go back a little bit on the recent history, we bring now quite a bit of background from the commercial cinema world. And that's an area that we were successful integrating sound and picture in a way that it typically had not been done. Talking about the above screen speakers with the solid screen in the commercial cinemas. And so we're following on that kind of philosophy to create an integrated platform with high resolution, high quality images to go with the high quality sound that we're already really well known for. So what we've done is shown at CD Expo and recently in Amsterdam at ISE, our new video displays which are available 0.7, 0.9 millimeter, 800 nits, very high quality, very sharp images in various sizes that then are integrated into the environment with speakers that are specifically designed to be placed above the screen. And like we've done in the commercial cinemas, these speakers are designed to project the sound to where the listeners are located in such a way that the perception is the sound is still coming from the screen. You don't get a sense that there's a disconnect between speakers because of their location and the screen image of the people that are speaking or whatever the sound effect is. And we've demonstrated that successfully at the 2 recent trade shows. So this is just being launched right now. So we don't have any way to demonstrate it at the moment, but there'll be information on that forthcoming. But this is pretty exciting because this is really well received at our presentations, and gives our dealers and enthusiasts another opportunity, alternate to the conventional projector and screen, to get a high quality, high performance audio video system without compromise.
Is there a specified distance from the speaker to the seating, first row seating, that you guys recommend for it to sound like it's not coming from above the TV?
Not necessarily. The placement and mounting of the speakers has an effect on it. The speaker itself, there's a P628 is one of the speakers that's designed for that. And it has a specific design that incorporates an angle on the baffle, and can be mounted so that the aim is specified at the time of the design. And this is a very high performance speaker. It's roughly equivalent to our P610. It's a full range speaker. It's going to work pretty solidly down to 40 or 50 hertz. And is a 1-inch compression driver, 6.5-inch woofer, and then dual 8-inch drivers. So it will work in most size rooms, unless you've got a really, really large room. That is bi-amplified, so it requires 2 amplifier channels, in that way very similar to the P610. And with that, you have you can have 3 of those located above the screen, and in some cases it can be used as just a center channel. But with the Immersio concept, you now have a single package that is designed to work pretty much seamlessly.
And that's speaker and screen, correct?
Yeah. So it's the screen, and then the entire speaker package. We would design the package according to the requirements of the room. So it's not a. It's we will work with the integrator. We'll work with the customer to optimize the system for the particular environment.
Right.
We do.
What's like the minimum size to like your max size you can go?
Let's see. Our smallest is, there's 3 screen sizes. It's roughly 10 feet by it's about 10 feet. No, it's 10 feet. I'm sorry. It's 10 feet, 10 foot width, 12 foot width, and 16 foot width in round numbers. Mm-hmm. And they're in a 2.2 aspect ratio. So not a 16.9, but more of a scope format, which we also think is more appropriate for this type of system. The scope format is, I think, the appropriate way to present cinema material in the highest quality, rather than having the black bars for most of the material that's done in scope.
Are these expandable?
They're modular,
yeah.
So that's how we can achieve different sizes.
Yeah.
But we're right now we're focusing on those 3 specific sizes.
And what's the price point for these guys?
The entry point is about 175,000 for the small one, and then up to 200 and about 285,000. That's in our Elite series. That's the highest performance, which has the highest quality components and the best matching and calibration. We will be introducing a little bit later in the year a premium series that runs from about 137 to 177,000. That will be a step down in performance to meet the price point. But we're launching with the Elite series right now, so that's what we showed at the two trade shows. And if someone wanted to specify a system, that's what we can deliver today.
What is that display? Like the controller and assuming like an amplifier for the speakers?
We would provide the amplifiers. There is a processor. It's Aurora. We call it Aurora. It's a 23-bit video processor that gives us the ultimate quality. And then we would be providing the system with our DA03 and DA08 amplifiers, depending on the speakers and the size of the room.
Can you say who's making the video processor? Is it a Nova or a Brompton or Megapixel, or rather not say?
We're working with Nanolumens as a partner on this, so it's coming from our technology.
What's the pixel pitch on the displays?
We're 0.7, 0.9, and 1.2. We've got 3 different levels for the different sizes.
And which one are you going to be installing in your theater, Kellen?
I don't know if we're going with the Immersio, but it'll be one of the video walls that we're doing with Unilumen. So
you're getting.
We've also got a Unilumen wall going in a project down in Bowling Green, so that'll be interesting as well.
So you're getting rid of your Valerian for a micro LED wall.
I think it'll be a good switch.
What other new stuff we got, Chuck?
Yeah, and we're not abandoning the speaker. The speaker at all. That's the classic. This is just moving towards the newer technology and giving people all the options. So with that, I think we've covered most of what's specifically coming. What I can talk about. Again, because we do have the new team and the new organization, we are working on some revamping. We didn't touch on the P28, which is the very high output, very high quality main channel speaker. That's basically a P8 configuration with a second woofer.
Yeah.
So it's very high output. That has already achieved the upgrades that you're seeing with the P8. The cabinet's a little more conventional. It's not. It doesn't have the cabinet design, but it has the drivers and the crossover to represent the new technology.
Would this ever be a speaker that you guys are considering to make into an in-wall version as well?
I would personally like to see that. I don't have any specific knowledge on it, but I think that to me, that would be the next logical thing for us to do, to have something that is that kind of high output, high performance level that doesn't have to go on the wall and can be.
Agreed.
Yeah. The question might have some questions of depth, depending on the depth of the compression driver, because we have the P8. We have a P8 in wall, but like the P5 in wall, it has the drivers mounted on an angle so that the high frequencies can be oriented. And because of that, and because of the depth of the compression driver, that's a 7-inch deep in-wall speaker, which rolls out most rooms for mounting. It can go in a ceiling where you might have joists where you've got a lot of space. But it's not going to go in a conventional, even a 6-inch deep wall. So that's something we would have to look at. But I think that's that would be a reasonable and logical thing to look at, without making any commitment that we're actually going to do it. But I'm not the one who gets to say that.
So is that a different compression driver from the Mark III P8 to the P6 Mark II?
Those are, yes, they're fundamentally different. The P6 is a 1 inch, and the P8 is a 1.5 inch.
Okay.
So it's capable of much higher output.
Right. So from what you've heard, if you've heard them, is there a pretty big difference between the Mark I P8 and the Mark II P8?
I only briefly heard the Mark II, and it was actually it's not a Mark II, but I briefly heard the P28 latest version, and I thought it was clearly better.
Yeah.
Hard to quantify because it was not a good listening environment,
Mm.
and it was just a brief pass. But I haven't actually heard the P8 itself. Anxious to hear it though.
Yeah, because I thought there's a pretty big difference between the P6 1 and 2.
There was.
Yeah.
The Mark II is definitely an improvement. But at the same time, one of the reasons it was so much better, in my view, is that it was much closer to the actual P8 than the original P8.
The Mark II.
The P6 Mark II
Yeah.
was much closer to the P8 than the original P6 was.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I'm just curious what the Mark II P8 is going to sound like, because the P8 right now, the one I have, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's a superb speaker.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what else you're going to change with it.
Well, if it's a better technology with a better compression driver that's available now that wasn't at the time.
Because I have them in my living room. My wife's like, "What are these?" Because they're not the prettiest looking speakers. She's like, "What are these doing here?"
No, they're definitely from the school of we're going to put speakers behind the screen.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to move them behind my screen, at least the center channel one.
Yeah.
But the subwoofer module, the bass module, subwoofer module, is that, aside from aesthetics, is that going to sound the same as the newly redesigned one?
Yes, it'll be exactly the same. There isn't anything that's going to make any difference at the frequencies where it operates.
Yeah, just look different. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to have the same internal volume, same bracing, and the same EQ for the amplifier to tune it.
And is there any plans for like a infrasonic subwoofer in the future, do you feel?
Not at this point. I don't think that that's a particularly high priority for us. It is a bit of a narrow market. To really do it properly, it's a big box. It's very heavy and very difficult to install. It's not something you can just drop into a room. And so for a limited market, I don't think it's something that we're, at least in the short term, I don't see it as anything we're going to pursue.
Right. Speaking of infrasonic, it always takes me a few tries on the altitude to get the infrasonic to work correctly. Is there a special way that you recommend?
It's really empirical. There is a technique, but you have to really do it by. You could do it by ear, that's the empirical approach. You can also do it if you're using a measurement system like REW or SMART. You can align it by carefully measuring and making adjustments. That's probably the best way to do it if you have the equipment and the ability to do it. Otherwise, you end up doing the empirical approach. Whether Trinnov has an automated way of doing that is a question for the future. It's not something that exists now.
Because I'm running my 21, I think I have it at 25 hertz and below, and then everything else is kind of just normal. And then I have it manually adjusted to blend in with the other subs. Is that about how you guys do it?
Yeah, that's basically it. It's a matter of setting up one of the subs as a two-way. Um, the infrasonic should be muted when you do the normal calibration,
Yeah.
and then you bring the once that's done, you bring the infrasonic back up, and then do the measurements of the listening to align it.
Okay, so when you're doing the whole optimizer, so you're keeping the. Do you set the crossover pre-optimizer or post-optimizer for your infrasonic sub?
Well, it's academic in a sense. It's going to be post because you're not going to be using it when you take the calibration. So the optimizer is going to do what it does in terms of the signal flow. It's going to be in the active crossover, which is ahead of the optimizer. But basically, you don't really have any control over it. You're just going to be activating that sub and then taking the measurements and doing the adjustments.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it takes me a few times because sometimes waveforming just totally knocks it out, and I'm like, Jesus, I got to do this all over again. So
yeah,
it's
I've not actually calibrated anything with the infrasonic, so I don't have direct experience with it.
Yeah.
I think when I was talking to Eric with per listen, he was saying that at the CEDIA show that they basically ran the waveforming to like 30 or 20 hertz, and then they had to basically manually add the infrasonics after that because it just kept knocking them out a little bit for the waveforming.
Yeah.
That's where the crossover comes in. It's where you set the crossover filters in the active crossover.
Yeah, it's always like back and forth, REW, back and forth till I get waveforming correctly. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn waveforming off. and then sometimes waveforming was really good, and sometimes it's just like, I was like, damn, I got to start this mess all over again, man. So I don't know, dude.
Are you losing the calibration? What's happening?
Because I'll turn waveforming on, and it's just like sucks all my bass out, all the low bass, just totally gone. Other times I'll get it and I'll spend some time and I'll calibrate it, the infra sub with everything else, and it works perfect. Those times are like, all right, I'm never gonna touch this again, and you guys might drop an update or something like that. I got to do something, or I might have another speaker comes in, and I got to start all over. So it's like,
yeah,
I haven't really messed with it too much lately because I know you guys are going to do an update soon, which I'm going to have to recalibrate again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some kind of cancellation taking place with the infrasonic. You're saying the bass isn't there. If it gets out of alignment somehow.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I haven't messed with it lately because I know. When is this update? When's the new update coming out?
For the new user interface?
Yeah.
That's going to be later in the year. All of the focus has been on getting the CI launched and getting that software finished and tweaked. It's now in general release, so we have been shipping to customers, but the priority has been focusing on that. So we're just going to let you know when we're going to be able to do it, but it will be later in the year.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking like fourth quarter, later in the year.
Third quarter, possibly. It could be fourth quarter, possibly. I don't want to create any expectations because I don't really have definitive information. Main thing is it's not going to affect anything in terms of performance. We have the update. You'll have a beautiful new interface, but it's not going to improve on what you have today. So you have to be a little patient to wait for it. But it's not like an update that's going to change things fundamentally like waveforming does.
Right.
It's just the interface. Performance is going to be the same.
Is there any new waveforming improvements on the CI as of right now?
No, it's the same.
Same thing.
It's the same as the others.
Just the UI is just totally different.
Yeah, the only difference with is in the UI itself, where you go through the wizard. The wizard now incorporates the waveforming setup and measurements, whereas on a 32 and a 16, the waveforming has to be done outside the wizard.
What about adjusting your curve and all that? That's also just all in one section now? Or is that still an advanced
It's
page
part of
somewhere
the
else?
setup wizard process now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, comes through there.
What about the FIR filter section and all that stuff? Is that
There are it's that's more or less the similar to what we have now, and it's not quite advanced settings. It's not the same, but there are fewer steps to get there. But you do have to go. It's outside the wizard.
is it more attractive looking than what it is now? For that
Yeah,
section? Okay.
yeah.
Because that thing sucks. Okay.
Well, yeah. Everything. It is very nice. It's very attractive and very easy to
Yeah,
navigate.
I was on the not really training, but kind of like the webinar, um,
Right.
and I saw it at CEDIA firsthand. So, but yeah, it's a big improvement visually and a little more consumer facing, a
Hmm.
little easier to follow.
Yeah.
Newer dealers possibly can grasp it a little easier as well. It's not as intimidating looking, if you
Yeah.
will. So,
Yeah. That's a good description.
yeah.
I'm assuming the CI has the new version of the codecs, the Dolby Surround codec. Yeah?
Uh,
No?
I believe it. I'm not actually. I'm not sure about that. I haven't seen. I don't want to say that it does, without knowing for sure. I haven't had a chance to test it. I'll have to leave that question unanswered.
Okay. So when are these new Procella speakers going to be available? Now, right? You said.
So yeah, the V21 is available now. The U21, the U24 in a couple of months. P8 is probably in June that we'll have that available. P50CW is probably 30 days available, something like that. If someone has an urgent need for something and they have it in the factory, we do fly products in. Normally, we ship by container from Belgium to Los Angeles, where we warehouse. But if somebody needs something that we don't have, we'll put it on a plane and fly it in.
So these are not manufactured in China.
They are not.
Okay.
No. They're manufactured in Belgium using parts from Europe, primarily. Most of the higher performance drivers come from Italy, from pro audio manufacturers. A couple of woofer drivers come from Scandinavia, from ScanSpeak. Cabinets are made in Europe. Crossovers are assembled in Europe.
Okay.
So it's not Chinese manufactured.
All right. I know some people have issues with that. So
Well, full disclosure, the amplifiers are made in China,
yeah.
but the speakers are not.
All right. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and hopefully I get some new P8s in to compare with the old P8.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We have them on hand.
Oh, really? Okay, dude, send them over. I really like the P. It definitely has a more musical characteristic than the old P6 did. So
Yeah.
I really want to know what the big difference is here. So I was like, oh, these are really good sounding speakers for 20-year-old speakers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had one upgrade a while back, so they're not fully 20 years old. But
Okay.
the basic design is, so it's,
Yeah.
if something works, stick with it. But yeah, we'll get you a set to evaluate so you can share with all your viewers.
Oh yeah. And Kellen's going to be doing some Procellas too, I'm assuming.
I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Theater.
Looking into it for sure, and I think it's going to be, one brand that I've always had sights on for sure.
Yep.
Didn't quite fit in, I thought so, but now kind of doing my own thing and super excited about that. But also just getting a little more boutique brands, not that everyone carries the same brands and everything like that. So it's going to be a lot more curated. manufacturers that I'm going to carry. Obviously, you'll have your usual suspects: JVC, Epson, Kaleidoscape. Some of those things you just can't, have alternatives to. But when it comes to components, I know Shane, you have one of the Matrix Audio streamers. It's complementary to the Eversolo, Hi-Fi Rose. It's just a different brand.
Yeah.
Really good stuff, and so I think Procella will be right at home on the site.
Yeah, kind of a hidden gem that's been around forever that not too many people talk about, I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's our time. So
yeah,
I'm happy to talk to anyone. We're pleased to help people with designs and optimize things for their rooms. So,
and one thing, Shane, is we'll have to get on and discuss this, but we're going to be taking a trip down to. I just want to say Atlanta. It's south of Atlanta a little bit, but they have a Samsung Onyx theater. I think it's the first DV-LED theater that's been open to the public. I know there's other being constructed across the United States, but I think this is the first one that's opening up. And Samsung Onyx is going to be the LED wall, but Procella is the speakers that are in that. So can't wait to hear kind of a commercial Procella in a commercial setting, in a proper setting. So,
that's our first U.S. installation commercially.
Where's this located?
I'm excited.
Trillith, Fayetteville, Georgia.
Yeah,
it's like 20 minutes south of Atlanta.
That's right.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Trillith has their own production studios. They do a lot of the Marvel movies. They have a big volume LED where they film, in front of an LED wall. A lot of content. But this is Trillith Live. It's part of their. They have like a live music venue, performance venue. They have shops and restaurants and hotels, and then they have a theater, and then the premier screen in that theater is the Samsung Onyx Theater.
Right. Yeah, it's a high-end experience kind of place.
Very, yeah.
I believe the first one was like in India or something, right?
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I think there's one being constructed in Richmond, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I heard rumblings.
World's first Cinema LED. Samsung Onyx LED Cinema debuts at AWFF, a new era for home theaters and imaging.
But yeah, we're slated to go down there, I guess 2 weeks from today. Or no, I'm sorry, 2 weeks from Monday, yesterday, and we're gonna go check out Project Hail Mary.
Oh damn! I want to see that in a good theater.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's. Have you heard it, Chuck?
No, I haven't.
This place, no.
No.
Well, the invite is open, Chuck.
Yeah, I just have to. You're not playing. I don't get involved with the install. So the folks came over from Europe for the install there.
Oh, this is like France or something. Asian World Film Festival, or Asia. Okay, well, I guess there's an American one now.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss that later on. But yeah, super excited, and that was another just staple that Procella is probably going to be a pretty good brand to be able to carry if they're doing that type of stuff. So
yeah. So you had no input in that, Chuck, or?
No, I wasn't involved. I don't have any background on the commercial cinema side, so that was all handled by the those who've been in that business for decades.
Gotcha.
And it's a completely different business. I know nothing about it. We sell to people who want high performance, in many cases at any cost, and to a great extent, the cinema business, from a operator's perspective, is a business of selling popcorn. That's where the money is. So what is beneficial for a company like Procella is we now have a true high end for commercial cinema with these types of displays, and the expectations that customers have of a higher level of experience. So it's not all about who makes the cheapest speaker system that'll fill the room. It's who's going to make a speaker system that's going to deliver a premium experience to go with the premium image. And so I think that's really good timing for us to be entering that market.
Yeah. So are these speakers that would be in there, the commercial stuff?
Yes, the one. Yes, those are the ones. Yep.
Oh, very cool. Can you buy this for your house? Yeah, right.
No,
You can't buy this for your house.
We don't sell them directly,
Oh,
and they're not designed for. I mean, maybe if you've got a barn or something, I don't think you'd want to be sitting 6 or 8 or 10 feet away from these.
I've seen some pretty big home theaters on YouTube.
Yeah. No, we make the ones that we've got. If you want something to play super loud, we've got ones that have higher resolution than these.
Shane, I sent you in the private chat. I sent you the link to the actual theater that's in Georgia. If you wanted to pull that up, just
There's a private chat here. Good morning, gentlemen. Where's the private chat?
There's a little arrow off to the side that minimizes the chat.
Oh, okay.
Where you can see the comments and stuff.
Dude, that's not here, man. Layers. I just see mine. See this guy? I did the Ethereum Kickstarter Max. Thanks to your review, it'll be my first projector. Congratulations, Austin. All destinations. Oh, there. Never mind. It's on the bottom. Duh. Here we go. Let's bring this up. So you can get a taste of this in your house if you get Procella speakers. What is it called? Trillith?
Yeah.
Trillith.
There we go. Can you see that? Boom. Samsung Onyx ushers in the future of movie going at Trillith Cinemas in Georgia. Theater companies newly opened. Blah, 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 blah. Redefine. Look at this. Oh, fancy, fancy. Those are all Procellas, huh? Does it say that anywhere? So what is he? With GDC's DCS certified SR5520 HDR and HFR media server, Samsung Onyx delivers cinematic high dynamic range, picture technology, frame rates of up to 4K 96 hertz, presenting true to life imagery in ultra smooth motion. At Trilla Cinema's premium Procella audio and GDC DTS-X immersive sound systems further enhance the cinematic presentation, complementing the impact and clarity of the Samsung Onyx screens. Look at that. Man, how far is that from you guys?
For me, Atlanta's about 5 hours.
Oh, so you got to take a hike too. Okay.
Yes, we've got a install that we're going to down in Destin, like the 30A area of Florida in the Panhandle. But I think Don and possibly Joey Peacock from MedVR are going to meet us there, and we're going to do some content, watch a movie, hang out, talk about it. It'd be fun.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Yeah, because Don moved down there, I believe, right?
Yeah. Don lives in Atlanta, so definitely thought it'd be easy for him to meet us up.
Guy, a bit of a hike for me. I mean, I got my tickets for next week already. Speaking of, let's before we log off here, let's go on to movies that we watched this month. Have you seen anything good, Chuck?
Not sure I've seen anything. Been busy.
Chuck's too busy working.
Yeah, I only see snippets, and then I go to my theater, and it sounds so good on music. I end up listening to music all night in Atmos.
Will you watch anything good, Kellen?
Man, I watched something absolutely terrible. I would totally 0 out of 10 not recommend. Psycho Killer. Thought it was going to be good. Writer from Seven, producer from Seven. Trash. Don't go watch it.
It's called
But
Psycho Killer.
Zootopia 2 is good if you've got some kiddos.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. I guess I watched Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. That was good. Not really a movie, but a great TV show if you're into some good TV.
Yeah, I only got into like season 4 of Game of Thrones, and I kind of petered off. So I haven't followed any of those other shows.
And then Beast Games.
With Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. So that's a crazy game show. Crazy.
I watched 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which is way better than the last one. It's way better.
How'd it look?
Oh, it's awesome. I was going to review it, but I figured I'd just wait for the 4K Blu-ray. And I would say, man, definitely maybe a 10 for video and 9, 8 audio. It's really good audio.
And all shot on iPhone, right?
No, that's the last. That's 28 years later. This is 28 years.
I thought Bone Temple was shot with the same apparatuses.
No, I'm pretty sure. No, these ones were shot in Sony cameras.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a little meeting with them yesterday, and they were bragging about that. So I was like, oh, it definitely shows. I mean, you can pick it up on the Sony Core app right now. So I watched it on that, and then on iTunes in the theater. Killer movie. Really, you would probably like it. It's pretty gruesome killing stuff, like skin peeling and all that stuff. In my older age, I'm just like, I gotta like look away. A lot of these movies, there's so many horror movies coming out this year. When I went to go see Scream 7, there must have been like 6 trailers for horror movies.
Nice.
Primate, I saw that. That was super cheesy. Decent audio though. Decent audio. I mean, it's kind of schlocky. I mean, I enjoyed it. Not something I'd watch again, but it was okay. You'd probably like it. So that Scream 7, that was all right. The ending was really stupid, but I still enjoyed it though. But that was at the theater. And what did I watch recently? I watched just before I came on here. I almost missed today until my alarm went off. I was watching Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Yes, I saw that came out today on Kaleidoscape.
Yeah, so. Good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty interesting. So
good, not crazy Atmos, but good enough. It was pretty busy. I mean, all the Atmos objects are all lit up. They're pretty lit up the entire movie. Just really light ambiance most of the time. Pretty banging soundtrack on that. Some of the music would really pound pretty nicely. And very much like Groundhog Day meets Everywhere All at Once. Whatever that movie's called, that Chinese movie.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep. So kind of like in that style.
Nice.
So some good ones. Oh, War Machine. Did you see that yet?
No.
On Netflix?
On Netflix. I watched your review, but I did not get a chance to watch it.
Fun movie. He's like the new Arnold minus the, charisma, of Arnold back in the day. But some good stuff. Can't wait to hear it.
Nice.
Can't wait to hear it on some new P8s. I'm stuck with these old ones.
You'll be slumming it for a while, I guess.
Chuck's always sending me the discontinued models.
Yeah.
Gotta do something with them. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll get you updated.
But all right, Chuck, thanks for hanging out today. And if you guys want to pick up anything from Procella, soon to be dealer Kellen.
Technically, if today, I guess I signed the paperwork, but
no,
website should be coming in a couple of weeks. I know Shane, you're going to be an affiliate of ours, so we appreciate that for sure. These are always fun, but find a local dealer that's always going to be willing to help you. If you do not have one, if you want to support a new local business or a new small business rather, be more than happy to help you. We're going to have a lot of great manufacturers, a lot of great products, Trinnov, Primaire, Marantz, Langdorf, Procella, Kaleidoscape, JVC, Valerian, Epson, a lot of stuff. So come check us out and here to help you out if we can.